Greetings and welcome, members, to another Healing Wednesday, Circle of 12. I'm Lee Carroll.
I'm Monica Morani.
Monica, we have green behind us when we told everybody we were doing purple for the whole month.
Exactly. However, there is a reason, and the reason is because we have Marilyn Harper as our guest today. Now, Marilyn channels Adironda, and Adironda is an entity, or I don't like calling entity.
I have the same issue. I don't like to cry on an entity either.
Exactly, an entourage.
An energy.
An energy.
Yeah.
And they work in the emotional body. And one of the things they do is pour so much love into the heart area, the heart chakra. And this is what I love, Lee, is that grown men, like big, burly grown men, will just dissolve into tears.
And we've seen this.
It's the emotional body. And so it's in honor, the green is in honor of our heart chakras. And Marilyn's actually a healer as well as a channeler. That's why she's on the program today.
And so she's not here to channel. She'll be here to you're going to see a side of her that you have not seen before, because she started off as a healer and continued to be one, even though she's known as a channel.
Exactly. But the green is our kind of subliminal message that even though Marilyn's not going to be channeling Adironda, Adironda's in the background and working in the emotional body and the heart chakra. So that's the green curtain.
All right. And we're telling you because I know you'd notice. We have everybody give
Especially...
Why are they green?
Especially we said that all of January is going to be purple.
That's right. So we changed our mind. Streaming is a little more difficult than just watching YouTube or another video of any kind, and it's a little more demanding. And we say this every time. If you get starting and stopping, if you get starting and stopping, that's me talking. So that's not the problem. There's no problem with your streaming. If it stutters and starts and stops, or the audio comes and goes.
The video, not the speakers.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. This is something we don't want you to be frustrated when you watch this show. And we just tell you, because you are members, you've got a membership portal. And in that portal is the link for the replay that happens an hour and a half after this show. This is a live stream, and we are recording it, and that recording is going to be played. It's a lot easier to play a recording than to receive a live stream for your computer. So it's going to be a lot easier, say, to see. So if you get frustrated, just turn it off and come back. I really want you to see this show, this presentation, as we've designed it. And that's without starting and stopping and refreshing and all of the frustrations that come with it. We have another thing to tell you, and it's about our call for healers. We've been doing this now for some time. You'd be surprised how many of our healers that we're collecting have come from you. If you have, perhaps you are a certified practitioner, healer, medical doctor, nurse, or anything like that with an alternate healing method that you're doing, we're looking for you. You can apply to be a speaker on Healing Wednesdays, and we'll see if you're a good fit. The actual link for it we're put in the chat for you to see. Also, if you know anybody that might be a good fit, you might also direct them to that particular link. So that's all for, I want to tell you, that's I would say the bookkeeping. What do you want, housekeeping?
Absolutely.
Bookkeeping is something else.
And it's necessary.
I think the green is affecting my brain today.
It is. And speaking of colour, I mean, this is information you don't even need to know, but I'm already regretting my lipstick choice. It's way too bright red, and it's too late because I'm committed. And I was thinking, well, I'm all in black, I need some colour, but we'll take care of that in the next episode.
Yeah.
So today, what I thought would be fun.
Nobody has mentioned my lipstick.
No, they haven't.
No.
But it looks great.
Thank you.
Very natural.
That's right. Okay.
So today, what I thought we would discuss and share with everyone is back to 2017, our experience in India. We already mentioned meeting His Holiness, which was amazing.
I hope, if you didn't see that show, I'd like you to find it and see that we had some fun things happen with the Dalai Lama, and it's just, he's so next to our heart. And while we were in India,
we also met another Tibetan Buddhist monk, and he was a Rinpoche. Now, Rinpoche, the literal translation of that means precious jewel or precious one, and it's a title that's bestowed on those who are honoured and considered a reincarnate lama, religious leader. And Chokyam Palga was the Rinpoche that we met, and he was sharing with us some beautiful wisdom and articulating it in such a beautiful way. But the funny thing is, as we were preparing for his visit, we had an idea from one of the guests that was on our tour. Her name's Deborah DeLisi, and she's a visionary artist. And we were creating a living mandala using flowers. Do you remember that, Lee?
I remember collecting them, and also remember what happened afterwards. We put them in the river and dispensed them as a ceremony. Yeah, so it was a wonderful layout. In fact, we got a picture of it. We'll show it to you.
And what was funny is when he comes into the room, the Rinpoche, and sits down, and we're all so excited and showing this beautiful flower mandala, and he says to us, "Oh, that's really nice, but I'm allergic to flowers." We couldn't believe it. But he was so gracious in saying, it's fine. And he really kind of moved back in his chair a lot further and delivered his talk from then.
We have, just to back up a little bit, let me talk about the whole idea of reincarnation.
Oh, that's right, because Rinpoche is, again, he's reincarnated master, and his story is amazing.
It is amazing. You do understand that with the number of Buddhists and Hindus and others on the planet who believe in reincarnation, we really are a minority in the West. I've had people say, how can you believe in those crazy things? Not realize, well, not all that crazy. You realize you are a minority. This is kind of almost like a staple of their belief system, and we believe it as well. Many of Kryon's messages are about their coming back and past lives and all, and this is very well embodied in what they believe as well. So what I want to tell you about is how he is selected. And this sounds so odd to us in our culture. But they go and they look for children in certain places, they're directed, who then become these important monks. And these children, eventually they're going to send to college, they're going to make them or ask them to learn many, many languages. So you would think that not all children would have that ability. Well, they haven't failed yet. In other words, they look for a reincarnate master. And they look for certain kinds of things. And we wouldn't know what that was, and they sense it, but there are some things. And there were some attributes, I believe, of this man.
Absolutely. And I did some research on him afterwards and found out that during his birth, there were some auspicious signs that happened. And one of them was that there were rainbows in mist on a day that had no clouds. And the other auspicious sign was when he was born, the umbilical cord was wrapped several times around his neck. But for them, this is a symbol of the white silk scarves of a senior lama wrapped around his neck. So it was already identifying at birth, this is a reincarnate lama. And Lee, I believe when he was around 8 is when they came to visit him and his mum and identify him to come to the monastery. And either my memory or I read it was that he told his mum, we have visitors coming, go and make tea. Yeah,
that's what he said. I want you to paint a picture for you to show you just how different our cultures are. If you had some visitors in robes come and you had an 8-year-old child and they looked at it and they said, well, he's the next reincarnate of this and that, and we're going to take him from you, and we're going to educate him, teach him many languages, and you're not going to see him for a while, I think you would go, I don't think so.
Exactly.
In their culture, in this particular culture, the mother was ecstatic. It was such an honor. It couldn't get any better than that. It's like they'd won the lottery. And she was so proud then and proud now. When we were presenting with him, she was actually there. Yes. And we saw her walk around taking pictures.
I took as much delight in observing his mum.
I know.
Taking photos and being so proud of her son, but also reverent to his
teachings.
To his teachings.
Right.
And that just touched my heart so much of mum being there and with the camera. And
Indians are such a sweet group of people.
Yes.
And we just love them to death. It's just so it's something that I'll never forget. And this was just one thing. Now, this monk, he's young. And so I want you to get the picture here is that we're seeing him and talking to him, I believe in his mid-30s or early 30s.
Yeah.
And so there were all manner of questions that we wanted to ask him about his life and how he sees things and all. Then we also later went to a ceremony that he did. What is that called? In the
We
place?
did a puja ceremony.
Okay, right. And he had all of the associates around him and the monks that are under his status and musicians and things. We love to immerse ourselves anytime we can in the culture, in the belief systems, so we can appreciate what's going on and what they're doing. I'll just tell you one of the interesting things that I noticed is that I don't think I asked this question, but it was a question that was on many people's mind, and that was about celibacy. You know, we're used to having the pre-celibates and all, and you see monks in their regalia, and they're all men, and you say, well, they all must be celibate. And I asked him, and he said it's not a requirement. This was the first time that I just at least for his group. And the next question was, will you take a partner? And he said, I don't know. And so, but the big thing there to me is I'm learning a lot about assumptions.
Yes.
And so they have a choice. And so I liked that.
I do too, because sexuality is part of our being, our beingness. It's creative energy. I mean, we wouldn't be on the planet without it.
I was so nervous because I am the leader of the group. Any way you say. So I'm in India. I'm the leader of the group. I'm Mr. Channeler and all. So I'm the one that's supposed to greet all of these dignitaries in a customary way. So they give me this silk white cloth, the one that she mentioned.
The silk scarf.
Yeah, the silk. It is a scarf. And I don't know it's a protocol. I'm supposed to then give it to them as they show up. And he took it and it was very gracious and all and did his thing. And I went, whew. I was also asked to do that with the Dalai Lama. And the reason I was a little nervous because the Dalai Lama didn't even look at it. He just took my hand and we took pictures. It's almost like, okay, I know you're a Westerner and you don't know what you're doing, so let's just get on with it. But this gentleman, we went through the protocol, and so I was a little more comfortable with it.
Absolutely. And so I guess the point of our story is how there are cultures that totally embrace reincarnation, not just as an idea, but a reality.
Very much a reality. And he was sent overseas, and he been to so many countries, even at his age, and he learned several languages as well. They're very bright people, these monks, especially in his position.
And Kryon's advice always is when your little children tell you about their other mummies and daddies or their other past lives, to please allow them to share that and make it comfortable that, yes, it's true. Even
if you don't believe it.
Yes.
Most of those watching this program, I would say, are fairly on board with it. It's not a prerequisite. We're not a belief system. We just know. We don't have structure or books or all those things that would explain doctrine. We don't. So our beliefs are wherever we want them to be in our truths. It doesn't affect your spirituality or your relationship to the Creator. And especially, honestly, you don't have to. There's no have to. So
exactly. Yeah. So, Lee, I think it's time to move into a meditation and a channel.
Dear Spirit, help me to see the synchronicities. Now you're asking for an awareness perhaps you were afraid you didn't have. Do you see how this works? You're not going to miss them if you ask not to miss them. Even today, a statement was made. Spirit answers you when you ask. You may not get answers you think are the kind that you imagine. My partner has seen this over and over in his life. When he is in a place of a crossroads that is serious in his life, many times he has gone into the shower where he knows I talked to him and spoke the words, "What should I do?" And he had to learn over years that the answer didn't come from the shower head. It didn't come as a voice booming or singing. In fact, nothing happened. What a frustration. He was even in the shower with the negative ions that would boost that which awareness for people. And that's been shown through waterfalls and all of that you're more aware of things and you have a sharpened intellect and all of these things. Nothing happened. And then the sign started. And that is, this took place and that took place. And he went, oh. Now there are no more questions in the shower. Now when my partner reaches a crossroads, he says these words. He says, "Dear Spirit, show me which way to go." Simple as that. He's then asked for an awareness to see what the signs are. And quite often the signs are benevolent things that take place in a row. They're different than you think. If certain things start happening in a row that guide you a certain way, don't fight them, even if it isn't the pathway you selected. The Circle of 12 is a study of communicating with the Spirit that you call Creative Source. The Circle of 12 is a study of communicating with what you call Creative Source. You cross a bridge, yes. You go into that theater where we'll go in a minute, yes. All of those things are an invitation for you to understand you are part of the entire scenario beyond the veil. And beyond the veil is that which you call the field, where things are stored and happen, and all the things that you can pick up, perhaps with your intellect, your intuition, both together. Intellect and intuition work together, dear ones. Don't let anyone tell you that one is good and one is bad. They must work together. Smart, yes. You got to feel things and then be smart about your feelings. Intuition is king. Yes, it is. But intuition without intelligence is simply intuition. You must know what the intuition is saying and what the helpers and the angels are trying to then shape in front of you so you can see it. And that requires a little bit of smarts. Spiritual smarts, you might say. We've said this before. Is it the pineal that's working in this way? Is that your intuition? Or is it the heart? Is it the brain? What is it that's creating all of that for you? And the answer is yes. All of them. And don't forget the fourth one, DNA. DNA is not thinking for you, dear one. It's the release of remembrance, because that is where all of the Akashic implants are stored. Akashic implants are wisdom of true core truths that are stored in you, implanted in you, that the old soul now is starting slowly to remember, the ahas that some of you are getting, even as you cross the bridge. Have you noticed that some of these teachings are becoming more complicated? They are. Because this is a complete new area of awareness for you. We're going to cross that bridge today and do something very basic. I want to invite those of you who believe there is something inside you that is inappropriate, which you would then call disease, specifically to the bridge. I'd ask you to report there now. And for those of you who don't have that issue, I want you to come too and hold the hands of those who do. Are you aware of how you help one another? Truly aware. When you intermingle consciousnesses and souls, you create that in another person, which is, I would say, an ability they didn't have before because you're there. You enable somebody because you're with them. Many times it's not what you say, it's not what you do, except that it's how you feel. You sit next to them, work with them, help them. They feel enhanced, enabled, because you're there. That is the power of the consciousness that we all have as entities in this particular universe, but specifically as humans that you are. I invite those to the bridge right now who have something they wish to eliminate in their bodies, something they feel that is inappropriate. Mostly those who would say disease. Others, perhaps imbalanced. Others, perhaps habits. Something is in there, you might say, and tough to get out. And that's why you're here. And for the rest of you, the invitation is to please come and hold their hands. Oh, please, dear ones, don't get linear. Don't say, well, I don't know who they are. I want you to go past all of those things and know intuitively what you're doing here is correct and right as you grasp the hands of somebody you don't know, figuratively, who you're going to help. Let's cross the bridge all together. All of us moving into this place, this area, this beautiful multidimensional place where nothing makes sense but everything is proper and filled with love and beauty, and speaks of that which is on the other side of the veil, which is perfect, and that is you. If you could see a face on this, it's yours. This is your soul. Every single one of you is individual and separate, and we're taking you to your soul and your room, and yet you're accompanied by all the others. This is multidimensionality at its best. I want you to see this theater that you've seen so many times before. And if you were to visualize a theater in the round, perhaps it's a little different color today. Perhaps there's a little more green today. And that is because this is the color that is synonymous with healing. It truly is. It has the vibration to your eyes that go in as a healing modality, as a healing attribute. You're going to walk on that stage and there is no chair today. There is what you would call, some call, a massage table. It is a padded table. That's where you're going. And yes, you're going to lay on it. I want you to visualize yourself laying on the table. That's not difficult, even for those of you who say, I don't visualize. Certainly, you can imagine yourself lying down. And you can, because it's common, and you do. And for every single one of you who has something inappropriate to get rid of, I want you to lay on the table. It's a precious time, and it's a time some of you have been waiting for. For those of you who do not have this issue and have come for another reason, today is for you to help others who have come with something that is frightening to many. They've got something in there. Imbalances, habits, disease, and they don't want it to remain. And perhaps they've come to the Healing Wednesday place over and over, but now it's for them. Slowly coming up and out of the audience silently are entities that are specialists. And you don't know them, any of them. You might call them spiritual healing specialists. And what they're specialists in is removing inappropriate things from humans. This is all metaphoric. And if I told you who they were or what they represented right now, it would lose its magic. For right now, they are those who remove things that are inappropriate. And there are a lot of them. And they are now coming up on stage to be around your table. I wish you could see what's happening next. I wish you could See it so clearly, because the mirror neurons in your brain will activate to such a way that it's going to happen for real, not just now, but later. As you realize that they're crowded around this table of yours, one question they're going to ask: do you give permission to have these things removed from you? Verbally, please say yes or no. That's all they needed, dear ones. For those who said yes and are on the table, which is almost all of you, they will start doing their work, and they will not be touching you. You'll feel a hum, which may even become a song, which then turns into joy. And I want you to close your eyes, because you're not going to like it, to see what happens next, because the visualization is different when you would imagine, because all manner of things are being pulled from you. Painlessly, beautifully, appropriately, with song, with joy, and being collected by those who are specialists in knowing how to get rid of them forever. Now you're there, and it continues, and it continues. And for those of you who wish to help, I want you to stay, please, and hold the hands of those who have come, some in fear of what they have inside their bodies. Because today is the beginning of the removal of all of them. Is this real or is it not? That is for you to decide. But let the mirror neurons in your brain somehow see this happening and understand that it's real. You're in this soul energy, dear ones, the most precious place you can be for a healing of a lifetime. Right now, if you want it. Stay, 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 and let it continue. And so it is.